Welcome, traveler. Please have a seat. Let this old shade share some stories with you. There's a town you've never heard of. It had no stoplights, no schools, not even a post office. And yet, it was once marked on maps of New Jersey, a place called Ong's Hat. Today, it's gone. Not abandoned, erased. Ask around, and most people will tell you they've never heard of it. Even locals, but the few who remember, they whisper about something stranger, something about experiments and other worlds. This isn't just an urban legend. It's one of the internet's first great conspiracies, a legend born in the zine culture of the 1980s and spread through early online forums in the 90s. And maybe one of the last real ones. Ong's Hat was a real place, a small, now-vanished settlement deep in the New Jersey Pine Barrens. According to historical maps and scattered records, it may have been settled as early as the 1700s. The name came, supposedly, from a man named Ong who tossed his fancy silk hat into the air and watched it land in a tree. Over time, the name stuck. But the town never grew. It was never more than a cluster of shacks and farms. By the early 1900s, it had faded from relevance, left to rot among the pines. Nothing strange, until it started disappearing not just from the land, but from memory. By the 1980s, most maps stopped including Ong's Hat altogether. The remaining structures were gone. The roads leading there were overgrown. People who'd lived nearby said it was as if it had never been there. And for most, that's where it would have ended. But that's not where the story stops. In the late 80s and early 90s, a strange document began circulating through zines and early internet forums, a pamphlet titled Incunabula Catalog. It claimed to be a catalog of rare books, but hidden inside were bizarre references to secret research groups, parallel dimensions, and a group known as the Institute for Chaos Studies. The Institute, according to the catalog, had once operated out of Ong's Hat. They were said to be rogue scientists, disillusioned academics, and government defectors who had used the remote Pine Barrens as a base of operations. There, they allegedly developed a device called the Egg. The Egg was described as a pod-like machine capable of transporting a human consciousness, or maybe even the body itself, into alternate dimensions. It wasn't teleportation. It was something stranger. The manipulation of quantum realities, controlled slippage between universes. According to the story, the Institute tested the Egg on themselves. Some never came back. The pamphlet implied that these scientists had fled into another dimension, escaping something, or someone, closing in. Maybe government forces, maybe something worse. The legend only grew from there. More documents followed, maps, logs, personal testimonies. Some said they'd found remnants of labs in the forest. Others claimed to have met people who remembered the Institute, or even claimed to be survivors. A few went looking for Ong's Hat and never came back. The internet, still new and unregulated, became a breeding ground for this story. Ong's Hat was passed around on forums like a secret, a rabbit hole you weren't supposed to find. And yet, once you did, it stuck with you. Some called it a game. Others swore it wasn't. To this day, no one knows if the original pamphlet was a hoax, an elaborate ARG, or something darker that was buried under the guise of fiction. There's no town sign left, no buildings, no clear trail. But some people say if you go deep enough into the pines, things get weird. The woods grow unnaturally quiet. Devices stop working, paths twist when you're not looking. You might see a structure in the trees, something old, rusted, mechanical, or you might see nothing at all, except a clearing where something should be. And the feeling that you're being watched, that's Ong's hat now. A story erased, a place you're not supposed to remember. But some of us do. And if you ever feel like you've been somewhere you can't quite place, if you remember a name you can't trace back, maybe you were closer to Ong's hat than you thought. Some say it was just a story, just a game. But if that's true, why did they try so hard to make us forget? If you've heard of Ong's hat before, or if this is your first time, tell me what you think in the comments. And if stories like this pull at something in you, something just out of reach, subscribe. There are more places like Ong's hat. We just don't talk about them. Not yet.